Ow! Cacao!
Yeah.
Hi, Internet.
Oh.
I don't announce when we're
What
going
have
online
they
anymore.
walked into?
I don't know. Cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Here in my car.
Hey, wake up, Chuck.
Oh, you sleepy boy. I'm so tired.
Here with the car. I don't feel safe at all.
Nope. Hey, there we are. We're on the line.
Hey.
You should put a little more opacity in that poster.
I took some opacity out of it.
I don't know. Make it more opal.
Fine.
More opal?
I took some out because I was like, you can see right through it. Is that better?
I don't know. I'm not watching the live stream.
God damn it. You son of a bitch.
So you wanted it more opaque or less opaque?
I want to see less of it. I want to see more wall.
Oh, no, you don't want that. Opaque. That almost captures the color of the shirt. Almost. 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 And we're done. Lovely time, everyone.
Well done.
Tweet.
Tweet.
Tweet it.
October month is here, and it's time for James Brolin versus Car in 1977's The Car. Burn rubber and get to our chat.
Wait, is that the actual tweet that
That is
went out?
the actual tweet
Yeah.
that went out.
It's pretty good. I like it. I love it. I'm going to retweet
I want some more of it.
Well, I just
After
realized,
I-
like, for a
so
long
hard.
time, I was just clicking retweet
Uh-huh.
without reading them.
Right.
Now I'm going to read them.
Okay.
One time you were
I
like,
can't rise above you.
I don't know,
Don't
Bumby
know
Dumber.
what it is.
Dumby Dumber. So the movie you're thinking of might be The Hearse.
The hearse.
The Hearse.
Does the hearse drive up out of the ground? We don't know. Mystery continues.
But it's the next killer car movie, according to Wikipedia. DJ suggested we do all killer car movies this month and call it October.
Well, to be okay. Yes, I did.
But
To
we're
be
not
fair.
gonna.
Somebody requested that we do all car movies,
Oh.
and I came up with the name.
Well, problem is we already did The Ambulance and we did Wheels of Terror, and we did Rolling Vengeance. So there aren't that many.
I still think I seem to remember it being a truck, and I don't remember if it was like a pickup truck or a semi-truck in question.
Then it might be Nightmares, which is an
Oh.
anthology film.
Um,
One of the stories has a killer 4x4 in it.
Yeah, and I did watch that, and it's.
The killer cacti.
I don't think anything drove out of the ground.
No?
I don't seem to remember anything driving
You
out of the
sure you're
ground.
just not thinking of Lone Wolf McQuade?
You know, it's possible.
Because you guys watched that.
I know we did.
Yeah. He just pours
I-
beer
I-
on his
I-
head and yells, and
I
then
could
all
have
of a sudden
just,
he drives out of a
put
hole.
some things together from
Uh-huh.
childhood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've drank a lot.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Berenstain Bears and
Right.
Shazam,
Shazam.
Nelson Mandela, and all these things.
Berenstain.
Oh wait, no, Berenstein Bears. That's the wrong one.
Oh.
Say the wrong one.
Oh. Oh. From.
TTBF says Race with the Devil.
Okay.
I don't know.
Racing with the devil. Dun, dun.
I'm gonna look it up.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, Peter Fonda, or is Jane Fonda in it too? I have two Fondas. I'm Fonda, a pair of Fondas.
Parafonda, let me go.
We will not let you go.
Come here, stupid.
I'm Fonda. Bridget Fonda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbarella.
I've not seen her in forever.
Who?
Bridget Fonda.
Yeah, where'd she go?
Yeah, where'd she go?
Where'd Bridget Fonda go?
Where Bridget Fonda?
Fonda.
She's probably been on like a USA Network show for 8 years.
What? You got a cat?
I'm just pointing out the cat.
What you doing, Bridget Fonda?
Just pointing out the cat to the chat.
She hasn't been in anything since 2002. That's why you haven't seen her.
Why?
I don't know.
Where is she?
Maybe she got married and made babies and was like, fuck this acting shit.
But-
I don't know, man.
But babies can do stuff.
Race with the devil, huh?
And that other one that was kind of like Bridget Fonda, but
Is there another Fonda?
no.
Oh.
I think the one who was dating Quentin Tarantino for like half a minute. Mira Sorvino.
Excuse you?
What happened to her?
Mirror Servin.
What happened, Mira? Sorvino?
Mira Sorvino.
Mirror Servin
Mirror
is
Servin.
judicious.
What you doing, Mira?
Mira Sorvino.
Mira. Oh, she's got shit coming out, though. She's still working.
Wait, what?
Wait, there was a spy. There was a spy. Wait,
What?
there's a Spy Kids TV show. It's a cartoon, though.
Wait. Is it Antonio Banderas? Click it.
I don't know.
I gotta see the voice, guys.
But it does feature the same characters.
Hey, Tom Kenny.
L.I.B. I don't know.
Is that for his TV channel?
Mm-hmm.
The El Rey Network?
Mm-hmm. No, this is Disney. Well, I mean, Disney's a production
I guess
company.
Disney owns it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
What else are you doing, Mira,
Yeah,
besides voices on things? Yeah, she's steady working. I don't know. Just not anything I've seen.
Uh-huh.
What? Yeah. How's everybody doing out there in podcast land?
Pretty good.
Not you.
Oh.
YouTube land.
I'm
Pretty
doing
good.
Not in this room.
Oh.
How's everybody not in this room doing?
Those people don't count.
Oh. What happened to Sputnik? Why you fall over?
He came in here and was throwing shit.
No.
He knocked Sputnik over.
I knocked this over, and,
And
you
it
went,
hit Sputnik.
No, it...
It did. Ow, now I fell over.
You did not.
I did.
We're all here. I can rewind the tape if you'd like.
There's no tape.
You want me to try again?
No.
See if I can knock you over for real?
No.
Yes, you do. That'd be a warning to you, Chuckles.
Yeah, keep your beverage cool.
You're the Chuckles.
I am. Thank you for placing him back, since you are the one who displaced him,
I did not.
you bowl of
Did
fuck.
not.
I did not.
I did not hit Sputnik.
Nah.
I did not.
Hi, doggy.
Right.
Woo.
I don't even know how long ago we started to say when it's time to go. I don't know.
What time would you like to go? You want to
You want to go?
banter some more?
wanna
Normally
go?
we start around 9:30. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we have 9 more minutes of warm up?
Oh, okay.
Get the pipes going.
Ah!
Uh-huh.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
Yes. Let people show up.
Unique, New York. What? Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Did you tell everyone in the Discord to come join us?
I did.
Good.
Absolutely did. I did not forget them this time.
Fantastic.
However,
Yes.
they are ignoring me.
Sons of bitches.
I even did the at everyone thing so that everyone would see it.
Why did you make a red rum thing when you did that? I even did the everyone thing.
Yeah, he's not here right now, Mrs. Torrance.
I assume that pretty much everyone has the Discord muted by now.
Probably, yeah. Ugh, they're always chatting in there.
People are enjoying each other's company. Gross, grody.
Yes. Grody.
Grody.
Grody indeed.
Grody, 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 grody.
What?
Everyone, Mackie is alive. However, he is keeping his sickness to himself.
True.
At special request, because I have to be somewhere next week. Not some week.
Some week.
Some week, yeah.
At some point in the future, I got a thing to do, so Mackie can just stay the fuck away.
Forgot to lube the lips.
You should lube them.
Go on.
Okay.
Ah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah?
all right in there.
Is that good for you?
Almost. Shh, don't talk. All right now. Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
Red Rocket. What? Chapstick makes Red Rocket. See, Chuck?
No,
It's excited.
I don't. I don't see. I do not. I do not.
It's okay, Chuck. I'm done with the chapstick now.
How are you?
Can I just share some of yours?
Yeah, let's go.
I don't want it from the tube, Chuck. From your lips to mine.
Oh, it's not on my lips. That's not where I put it tonight. You have to find out where.
Some chapstick. Michael Caine.
What about my cocaine?
Yeah. You can trade Michael Caine for some chapstick.
All right.
We usually save this for the end of the show. That's what we usually talk about, skeeting and dicks and stuff.
No, I don't think it is. I've been around for lots of ends of shows, and it is not what we talk about.
This Friday on Fox, Skeeting and Dick.
Chuck, come on. Join us here.
I'm here.
You're not even in the
I'm
frame.
looking at-
You have backed up so much.
I'm
You're like...
planning things. I am looking
you?
at the shelf and planning.
Okay.
I think you're trying to not be here with us, Chuck.
No, I'm making plans.
I'll do this. That way people can see you.
What have you done?
I removed the lower third for now.
Ah.
You're so far off the screen.
Now they're going to think I'm looking at him.
Well, you are.
I'm
Maybe
not.
we should just angle the camera down a little more and move other things. I don't know.
I'm looking right at you. Into your souls. And I know what you did last summer. I still know what you did last summer.
Woo. Woo.
All right, let's do this.
I would like to podcast.
All right, let's. Yeah, I think it's podcast time. Let me cover Chuck back up.
I'm
So
warm.
that's safe for, consumers and advertisers.
Yeah. MeUndies and mattresses and shit.
Chuck, you make things unsafe for monetization.
I do.
Yeah, you
Just
do.
simply by being.
You do. All right, here we go. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
BMFcast.
Episode 395.
Wow.
Look at all them numbers climbing up.
So many numbers. So I'm Harlow.
No.
No,
What?
you're not.
What are you doing? What are you doing, sir?
I don't know what's going on with Chuck.
Sorry. Let's do that
I'm
again.
BJ.
I'll just start over. So I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
Mackie is out again this week.
But
Yeah.
hey, Mackie or not, what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go ahead and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 Juxes and Robot Jocks.
Robot
Robot
Jocks. Hooray. That has giant robots and they fight each other.
Which is indeed, that is accurate. However, there are bad movies, and to stay away, they get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags, as in giant bags of trash.
Boo!
Big old poopy bags. of
Trash bags.
poop.
Big old poopy bags.
Yeah. So, it's October month.
Hooray!
Which, I don't know. I guess we watched a horror movie?
Yeah.
It's
sure.
Scary-esque.
It's
Scary-esque.
Miss mystery thriller suspensey thing.
Yeah, we were chasing a long lost memory of mine of a killer car and/or truck or other land vehicle, possessed by the devil that chases down and kills people. And I believe several people might have come forward and said, "I think you mean the car." So we watched The Car from 1977.
We did. Yes.
Would you like to know the plot of The Car?
Yes.
Quickly, anyway.
Fill us in on the
Okay.
plot of The Car.
Oh, yeah.
A mysterious, black, sleek automobile terrorizes everyone it comes into contact with. A mysterious, black, sleek automobile terrorizes everyone it comes into contact with in a small town in Utah. The local sheriff may be the only person who can stop this menace, which has been possessed by pure evil.
Whoa.
That sure sounds like what I was talking about.
Yeah. That's probably why I said, "Oh, it's The Car," and wrote it down 5 years ago.
Sure.
But I believe listeners also reaffirmed
Yeah,
it
yeah.
being The Car.
Multiple people have come forward. We're not attributing it to any one person.
No.
It's a collective effort here.
Everyone was wrong.
Well, a little bit. But we're going to get to why.
Oh, all right.
First off, this movie. It has some people in it. It's got James Brolin.
It does, yeah. Sort of a BMFcast alum.
Sure. BMFcast Extra alum, at least.
Yeah. It was an Amityville Horror.
Yeah. Whom else?
R.G. Armstrong was in Predator.
All right.
He was the Colonel.
Okay. You also got Ronnie Cox.
Yes,
He's in this.
he is. I believe he has been in some BMFcast movies.
Yeah. There's several BMFcast Extra alums in this more than anything else. Including, I believe, did you say this was the director or just the music music from the guy that did Meteor
Right.
from a recent episode?
He was big from around 77 to 79 or so.
Yeah. Yeah, The Car.
The Car. How does this
I mean,
movie
well,
start?
it opens. There's two youngsters biking on an open road in Utah, and just having a good old time racing each other on the roads.
Yep. Laughing and joshing each other.
Having a good old time.
like people do.
They
Or
did, yeah.
Once upon a time.
Yep.
I hear.
But there's also a car.
There is also an evil car, which BJ, you're our car and firearms and everything else expert. What did this begin life as? It was like a.
I didn't actually look it up,
you
so I
didn't?
have no idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
That information is available.
It is. It's in the trivia section.
Stand by.
Car, the internet movie.
It's just right on the.
It's a 1971 Lincoln Continental Mark III Black Coupe.
Yeah, modified.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Heavily modified.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this car is just kind of menacing down the road. Now, I should also point out that when this movie opens, I believe I commented that people involved very much enjoyed their soundtrack because the mix on this, the soundtrack is just blaring at the beginning of this movie, and it's all dissonant piano chords and shit.
It's just people banging on a piano.
Yeah, I mean, it gets more soundtracky, but usually when the car is involved on screen or about to menace somebody, the soundtrack just goes like music. No,
It goes insane.
yeah, it's just like no, there's no notes here. This is just noise. So that's kind of happening amongst the kids. It's sort of like the soundtrack goes crazy. And it's like, oh, things are probably not going to happen too good. Good things are not going to happen to these kids.
No, these kids are going to have a bad time.
Yeah. So they were racing down a mountain, and then they're like, "I'll race you through the tunnel," which, we're like, that's probably a bad idea because we've seen the car now.
Because the car is coming, and we've heard it.
Yeah.
And it's going. "Brr, brr, 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 brr."
This car just loves to honk. It also loves to rev its engine. It's silly.
The
Also great.
car horn is the Hadley Ambassador rectangular bell horn. So if
Is
you
this
want one
from
for
the
yourself,
IMDb trivia?
yeah. If you want to get one for yourself, ask for that.
Someone also,
It's very good. It's also very loud.
I don't know if it's true or not, but someone else points out that it also is the Morse code for the letter X.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true because I don't know Morse code.
Spooky.
Yeah.
The letter X is spooky.
While we're on car stuff, the guy who did this car is George Barris.
Yes.
You will know George Barris from almost everything you've seen with a fucking cool ass car. He's done it. The Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
The real Batmobile from 1966, 65.
Yep. Where we've deemed that the real Batmobile. I mean, it's
It's the real Batmobile.
there's lots of good Batmobiles.
That's what I just decided. It's
okay.
It's the real Batmobile.
For me, the real Batmobile is 1989 Batmobile. But
Yes, I agree
66
with you.
Batmobile is also awesome.
Until we're in the context of this.
Okay, sure.
But he designed Knight Rider.
Yep.
And
You mean Kit?
yes.
The Dragula from the Munsters. Dragula.
And Supervan,
Yeah,
which that's
wait.
a hell of a thing.
from Superman's van.
No,
Oh,
So like the Spider-Mobile?
no, it is just a groovy ass 70s movie with giant vans.
okay, all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, those kids are riding their bikes, and then they suddenly have a bad time because the car comes up on them.
Yeah, and what's weird is like the car doesn't really get to them, like doesn't really start chasing behind them until they're out of the tunnel, which
Yeah.
you kind of like you think, all right, it's going to trap them in the tunnel, and that's where they're going to die. But no, it kind of waits till they're out.
And you also think you're kind of not going to see much of the car because the era is all about not seeing the thing. But no, it's full daylight all the time. You see this car, and
plenty of the car.
yeah. So I mean, it doesn't kill them in the tunnel like you think a movie would do. It waits till they get out, and then it slowly, comes out of the tunnel.
Yeah, and it's like right behind her bike tire.
Yeah.
And then basically kind of it forces her off, like she basically kind of veers off and hits the end of a guardrail, which just causes her to flip over and
it pins her.
It pins her, and
Yeah.
it grinds her up against this stone railing.
And then she hits the end of the railing and goes over.
Right. So
And the
she
guy's
did-
like,
she did.
"Oh no!" And then
Barely.
that guy is not much longer for this world because the car just comes up behind him and rams the back of his.
Oh, that's
tire.
right. It didn't really even like play bumper to tire with her. It was more just kind of like boop, and he like pushed her off from the side.
Yeah.
It's him like gets up right behind him and is like tapping him with the bumper to the back of the bike tire.
Yeah, and then it basically just kind of drives through his bike and sends him over a huge ass bridge, which
like a bridge that doesn't go over water.
yeah,
Well, a little bit of water, but not much.
and a stuntman comes off this bridge.
And it falls.
It
Yeah.
is-
For a while.
The stuntman actually comes off that bridge.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
It is a long drop. So
Into what? We don't know.
Nah.
Giant airbag? Who knows?
yeah, but
It gave me a frighten.
yeah. So then we meet James Brolin's mustache.
We do.
Yep.
It's sleeping.
Along with the rest of him.
Yes. And his girlfriend comes in and is just like, "Hey, get up."
Well, she's like slowly trying to wake him up at
She's
first, which goes on
constantly
for a
just
while.
poking at him, and
Yeah.
it's
Like pulling on just part of his mustache, and
Yeah.
then she reaches down with her teeth and is like pulling on his hair.
Yeah,
And
yeah, sideburns.
Yeah, oh, that's what it was. Yeah, and then yeah, it's just.
then he
she's-
wakes up and he's like, "What time is it? 6:30?" And then he just jumps up and it's like, "It's a glorious day. I am a morning person. Let's have sex." It's, and
And she's like, "We don't have time. You fell asleep last night. You're bad."
Yeah.
And basically, James Brolin has two daughters.
he does.
From a previous wife who left.
Sure.
We don't know why, but it's just
She's not dead
Not
because
dead
the kids
because-
are always
yeah.
unless he told the kids that she went to a farm
possibly. Yeah.
because they are like, "When's mommy coming back?"
Right, but she, the lady here now is the school teacher at their school, and so Daddy Brolin is kind of weirded out about
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe you should just sneak out the other way. But like the kids,
The
totally
kids are totally
know.
hip to this, yeah.
They're actually listening at the door while they're wrestling, almost sexing. And it's like
Kind of gross.
a little weird. It's a little weird, but. And then they're like, "All right, we got to go back and pretend that we're asleep." And she leaves, ducks out the front or side door, or whatever. And then James Brolin goes, wakes them up, is like, "Put your helmets on. We're going to school."
Yep.
And you find out,
Kind of before this, there's been a scene where at the city limits, I guess, is because it's the welcome to Santa Yen's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Before all this, I forgot that
Yeah.
there's another car victim.
Yeah, because there's a dude sitting by the city limits sign playing a French horn.
Yeah. It was intercut between all of this because it was like, "All right, girls, go get ready," and
Yeah.
then to signify that it's morning, we cut to this hitchhiker dude with a
And-
French horn playing. Fuck is that piece
Oh,
of
what
music?
a beautiful morning.
Is that what it's
Isn't
called?
I think so.
Or is he playing Spring from the Seasons?
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's playing, and R.G. Armstrong comes out of his house, which is right there by the sign, and is also beating the fuck out of his wife.
That's primarily what he's doing.
A subplot of this movie that is sadly not addressed properly.
No, never.
At all.
Not at all.
But yeah, so he's like, woman, damn it, whatever. And then he's like, hey.
No, French horn guy's like, hey, mister.
Oh, yeah,
maybe
but,
not
hey,
want to
don't hit that lady. And he's like, that's no lady, that's my
He
wife.
drags his wife over and is like threatening him,
Yeah.
like, who the hell are you? Are you the one that woke me up? And
Yeah, with that
I'm gonna
damn horn
I'm
tooting.
going to shove that trumpet up your ass. He's like, that's impossible, sir. This is our French horn.
So, yeah, well, I'll shove that French horn up your ass. You'll be farting music for a year.
And he's like, oh, really? A year?
That sounds fantastic.
It's later. He's like,
Wonderful.
he basically is like, you got 5 minutes to get out of here and
Yeah.
pack your shit up. And he goes through this whole thing of like, isn't this amazing? This little mouthpiece has its own little hole. Look how the French horn just perfectly fits in the case. And then he says something. That's when he says like
Yeah.
you'll be farting for a year if
Yeah.
you're not. And then they leave. He drags his wife back inside, and he's like, that would be amazing. Farting music for a whole year.
This guy is so high.
Yeah, he really is.
But then he sees the car coming down the road, and he's like, oh, man, it's my lucky day. This guy's going to pick me up. No, wait a minute. It's a lady. This lady's going to pick me up, and we're going to go water skiing in the Amazon, and I'm the best, and the 70s are cool.
She's going to be a 35-year-old nymphomaniac. This is going to be amazing.
I'll just stick my thumb out. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good looking.
Meanwhile-
Hope you pick me up later.
The car takes aim for him. The car has car vision, by the way. It's just orange for whatever. This car sees orange. So,
It's got those. It's the 70s, so it's got those amber sunglasses on.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But the car is just like, nah, and kind of aims for him, but doesn't hit him. It just kind of sideswipes the sign a little bit and keeps going. Not going to stop, but the guy's like, hey, buddy, screw you, gives the car the finger. And the car is like, the fuck you say to me? Hits the brakes, and then slowly starts backing up. And the guy's like, he's still holding his finger up, and he starts slapping it like, rush to judgment, shouldn't have done that. And the car murders that man.
Yep, it sure does.
It backs over him and then pulls forward over him and then backs over him and pulls forward over him again. And
Wife beater guy looks out the window and is just like,
yeah, well, that's not right.
Yeah. So when James Brolin is putting his kids on the bike, his hot Suzuki motorcycle, he gets a call on his CB radio, and they tell him, hey, after you drop off the kids, go check out this crime scene where a man has been driven
Has
over.
been beating
Well,
his wife.
they just said, like,
and then another man has been run over several times.
He
There's
doesn't
multiple crime
He doesn't
scenes.
get all that on the radio. It's just, hey, go out
Yeah.
here and there's a thing happening here.
Right, you might want to check it out.
I guess he drops his girls off at school because they're not on the bike when he pulls
No.
up, thankfully, because,
Yes.
grisly murder and all.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, and the sheriff and him and everybody are basically just berating this dude, like, tell us about the car. I didn't really see anything.
Yeah.
You gotta have seen something. He's like, I think it was black and or gray. Okay. What kind was it? I don't know. How many doors does it have? 2?
Yeah.
Oh, you do know something. It's like, yeah.
They keep going back and forth from, like, he's not going to tell them anything to he's going to tell them everything he possibly can. But everyone
but he
is
also
just...
has nothing to tell them.
Yeah. But everyone's yelling at him. So,
For no reason. Well, I mean, okay,
reasons.
all right.
His wife is standing there bruised to fuck.
Right. But, like,
Yeah.
they're just screaming at him.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're going to let up and, like, let him start telling what he knows. But then
He says
seconds
like,
later...
He says like one piece of information and they start shouting at him again.
Right.
So it's like, did it have a license plate or not? No. Well, how many doors? 2.
Some...
They have more than one door. Yeah. So they've got this vague description of car. So they
Is this when he said something about the roof looked lowered?
Yeah,
Or, okay,
he did.
yeah.
He did. Yeah, when he settled down, he was like, "Wait a minute, I remember the roof was real low." And I'm like, "All right," because that's what James Brolin shows up. He starts asking him specifically about the roof. He's like, "Sunroof, all the
Yeah, T-tops,
roofs."
yeah.
Yeah. So they go back to town, and the town is preparing for a parade festival, which
Yeah.
is bad news considering
Was it
that
a parade festival?
Well,
was it just like the parade
it
festival?
was
Or was it...
the parade? But I mean, it's whatever.
Well, our
fucking
first,
Jaws
our
thing.
first introduction is that the high school marching, or not even high school, like I mean,
just
like,
all
like
grades.
yeah, just the
school.
school marching band is preparing, and
Yeah.
and lady friend from James Brolin, the teacher, is there trying to conduct this, and oh my god, like
They're so bad.
they're worse than the soundtrack guy.
Yeah, it's like that when they were warming up, but if only children were doing it.
Yeah, that I actually said that when the opening.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it was really nice for them to include the orchestra warming up as part of the soundtrack. 'Cause that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
So they go through that for a while.
frumpy principal lady comes over and interrupts her.
From principal.
I only bring her up because like she's like this seems like kind of hip teacher land because there's a couple younger teachers there, but frumpy teacher comes over and is like got this hand drawn like sort of like super
Naked from the back.
super tasteful naked picture of her drawn by one of the students.
Yeah,
But it's rolled up like a scroll.
It's like,
but like if you were taking art class
it's a
and you
true
were
Elder Scroll.
drawing a nude, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
That's not bad. Not bad.
But she's like, "Oh,
But I mean, it's
bless
like,
his heart.
but
He
it's
gave
like,
me 36 D breasts."
It's like there's butt crack, but then she's like
yeah,
tastefully covering her boob, and it's like and
tasteful side boob. is what we call
tasteful
that.
side boob,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, she's like, wow, he's really got talent. And she's like, do you think this is appropriate for a 13-year-old boy to be painting his teachers naked? She's like,
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, sorta.
yeah. I don't
mean,
know if
he's
you're
an
aware
artist,
of kids
so-
and stuff, you know. I'm like,
but she's kind of like, "Why I never?" And
Yeah.
you know,
and frumps off, yeah.
Yeah.
So James Brolin rolls up and is
He rolls.
rolls up along with Ronnie Cox, and but basically both of the young attractive teachers are dating these two cops.
yes,
Or maybe one of them's married. I don't. It doesn't matter.
I think
But-
Ronnie Cox is married.
Yeah, Ronnie Cox is
to giant-breasted lady.
Yeah, who was in Piranha, and so sort of a BMFcast along.
Yeah.
But she is like, hey, be sure and congratulate him on his 2-year anniversary. And they're like, what? From what? He's like, he stopped drinking 2 years ago. And they're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And of course, you're like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
Ronnie Cox is dead." But this movie defies all logic when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we go into the sheriff's station and we realize this town, this tiny ass fucking town, has like 20 cops,
At least.
and they're all on duty. And they get basically like,
Well, they get called away from the school because they've been called in to like they found the girl
Right.
from the first scene.
yes,
And they haven't found the other kid, but
No.
they found the girl, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, I think it's so and so's daughter, and
yeah. There's a long like, let's make Ronnie Cox feel really uncomfortable for really no reason. Ronnie Cox is like, "I think I know that boy. He wouldn't lie to me about going to Bible camp or whatever, and really go bicycling with a girl. That's crazy."
yeah. But yeah, there's a whole like this sets the near almost Ensign Award state that Ronnie Cox will exist in for the rest of this movie.
It is the most internal
Yeah.
ensign award I've ever seen. Yeah, because
Quietest, for sure.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like an ensign with an I, like
Yeah.
Ensign Award. Yeah.
he is like, they needed something to trigger him to be distraught, but not like freaking out distraught,
Right.
but clearly like can't handle anything, and this is what does it. So they found the girl, and
And that, like I said, that just sets off like, all right, all hands on deck.
yeah,
Because-
roadblocks, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
because when they come back to the station now, it's like we see that like, holy shit, there's a lot of cops in this apparently small county in Utah.
yes.
Yeah, but it's all like we sort of have a description on the car. Let's like set up a few roadblocks, be on the lookout, maybe cancel that parade practice. Call the other county, see if put on a bolo.
Yeah, they kind of bring it up, but they don't address it definitively yet, because now they're dealing with the old dude and his battered wife, who the sheriff is desperately trying to get to confess to, or sign the statement saying that she was beaten and they can arrest the dude. She won't do it, and the sheriff is like super torn up about this.
Well,
And-
also, what's his name is standing like behind the sheriff
Oh,
in the
yeah.
shot, like looking at his wife, like, "You better not sign that fucking thing. I'll
Yeah.
put another one on you right here."
and their kid is sitting there too. I mean, this is like the worst possible situation to get someone to sign that kind of thing. And but the sheriff is just adamant about this, and she's eventually like, "Nah, going home," and they leave. And then you learn like the sheriff's backstory, which was like he went to high school with this girl, and like she was the one, and just has
But the
to
sheriff
rescue her.
is like 30 years older
Yeah,
than
that's what's really
all
weird
of them.
about
Yeah.
it. But so you're getting like this build up for the sheriff character, and you're like, okay, well that's something. And then they go outside because they hear the guy berating his wife yet again, like 5 feet away from the police station, which real smart guy. And he's just like, man, bullies. I don't like them.
Let's go get a drink.
Yeah. Yeah, but he, like, personality switch in the sheriff guy. He's just like, he's bummed out and he feels bad about the lady.
Well, this is also earlier after they found the girl. Like you know, he was already like, I can't believe a kid from someone else is passing through our town. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Dead kid on our watch. I don't like it. Then when they found this other girl, he's just like, damn. And he just says damn for like 30 straight seconds.
Yeah, he's not happy about any of this.
But yes.
But yeah, so they go outside and drunken fuckhead like sends his wife and child away in the car in their truck, which drives away. He starts crossing the street to go to the club, and here comes the car. And the car is like doing the one like sense of justice thing in this whole movie that it's going to do, but he jumps out of the way, and the sheriff is just standing in the middle of the road, and the car murders the sheriff.
Yep.
So James Brolin is now in charge.
Mm-hmm. And Rodney Cox has officially lost his shit.
Yep. He is not having any of this anymore, and he goes out to the parking garage.
Well, he's like, all right, round up everybody. They killed the sheriff. Now we're really pissed.
Yeah.
Hey, Rodney Cox, go check the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which he does, and then he's like,
hey, alcoholic on the verge of losing it. Go look at the guns.
I think there might be some guns in the trunk of my squad car.
Oh, wait, sweet booze. Which he has wrapped in, I don't know, 8 leather pouches.
It's
because it takes,
mummified booze. Yeah.
It takes him forever to get it out. But then he's just like, oh my God, sweet booze. Yeah, so Ronnie Cox has either fallen off the wagon or he was never on it to begin with. I think it's the latter. I think
well, considering the way he had that booze wrapped up, maybe he was like, this is my emergency booze.
Only for emergencies.
Only for
this
emergencies.
Is definitely an emergency.
It qualifies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, so
it's going into the next day.
Yeah, when
basically.
it's the next morning, and he's like, "Thanks you all for sticking around. Like we still don't have any leads. We like the next county radioed in or something like that.
Yeah, they've got some information.
Plus, there was an older Native American woman in the town who like
she was on the street corner when the car killed the sheriff,
and so like there is also a Native American officer who's like translating, and she says something, and he basically dismisses it as like she's just old and
Indian
superstitious.
talk.
Yeah, it's superstition. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
and that comes up like they drag that one out a little bit. But I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Like there is another, their radio dispatcher is also Native American, who basically it goes like, "Hey, he didn't say everything that she said.
Yeah.
She basically said that like there was no driver in the car.
Yeah, because he had the guy who was translating for her had said something like an evil wind is blowing and the forces of nature, blah blah blah, and Brolin wasn't having that, but. Whatever. So Brolin, at this, people have asked him like, should we call off the parade? And he's like, probably, yeah, maybe.
And he tasked Rodney Cox with, hey, go call them and at least postpone it until
later this evening.
Yeah, at least later. And
but because Rodney Cox
he doesn't drinking
now,
doesn't do this.
No. So eventually we see all the kids and the teachers out at like this fairgrounds, you know,
like small
racetrack
small grandstand
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just out there practicing. And practicing badly. I mean, they will never be good.
They were better.
A little better.
Like I think I almost recognized the tune they were playing, unlike last time, which was
it wasn't just a lot of
yeah. It was
a bunch of wounded beasts.
It was a whole bunch of barbarian brothers.
Yeah. It wasn't just yeah. But now they've added like horses and all this weird shit to their parade, so they're having to just full on practice all their moves. And off in the distance, like, okay, so one cop has gotten up on this platform to look for, he's looking for the sharks, basically. And he goes up, and off in the distance, you just see this light, this
is
reflection.
A good shot.
Yeah.
Like, we should also mention, like, this is one hell of a Blu-ray transfer for a movie this old.
Absolutely it is.
For a 40-year-old movie, this is a hell of a Blu-ray transfer.
Most of it looks great.
Yes.
But, I mean, like, shots like this, when it's full, like, all the stuff in, like, daylight looks amazing. It's, when you go night shots, it gets a little grainy 70s, because it's low light.
Yeah.
But like this shot is really well done because there's, massive desert.
Yeah.
And you just like as he's climbing up, you see like one reflection off the windshield, and you're like, did I just see that, or was that just a trick of my eyes? And
then you see it again.
You see it again. It's like, oh shit, the car's coming. And this is where they establish that before the car arrives, like an evil wind basically kicks up, and this. More or less, the dust storm starts happening, and
pretty much, yeah.
Which, in and of itself, sort of like sends the crowd into like, what the hell's going on, and things start to panic before they hear the car, and
Yeah, because the horses are freaking out. All the instruments and music are blowing away. Kids' hats are falling off. It's, a nightmare.
Right.
And yeah. Meanwhile, like, you see the car is up, because this is like a kind of a sunken racetrack kind of area, and the car is up on this ridge driving around, but you can't really see it because it's hidden behind just banners and other things, but it's there. And everyone is just they kind of all have this group think at once, which is just basically like, okay, get to high ground, just get out of here. The car is here. We have to get away from the car. So they all just start running, although I don't know specifically where they're going, because everywhere they go, the car kind of shows up right there. But eventually the dudes on horses are like, well, hold them off. And then it's just rodeo stunt spectacular with like cowboys getting sideswiped.
It's a little bit weird because one straight up does the like grabs his hat like you would a bull. And it's like, over here. And the car's like, oh, over there.
Yeah.
It's like, why did that work?
Hey, they had to try it.
But it worked. That's trying it is one thing. That's just like, fine, I don't know, killer car. Like, but the fact that the car was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but they all run into just kind of an old cemetery that's out in the middle of the desert, and the car will come all the way up to the entrance and then stop. And this is when James Brolin's school teacher girlfriend decides, I'm just going to taunt the fuck out of this thing. And she's like, hey, you big man with your car, why don't you get out so we can see how stupid you are? And, the car's like doing donuts and just like frustrated that it can't get in for whatever reason. And she just continues just to fucking berate this thing. Which I'm surprised no one in the group was like, hey, shut the fuck up. Leave it alone. Stop taunting it. But eventually, like, the other young teacher decides she's going to make a run for it. There was a scene that apparently got deleted that I read that was in the TV version where they actually made the plan to do this.
Oh, okay.
Where she's taunting the car and it distracts it so that she can run to the police car and call for help, which is what happens. And then does it just decide to fuck off and leave? It's just like, I can't get in there, so it rams the little stone, the one pillar of the stone gate of the cemetery and kind of knocks it over, but it still won't break the ground and come into it. But I think it just donuts around for a while, and it's just like, the cops start showing up, and as soon as the sirens come, it takes off.
Yeah,
because you're like, Jesus,
yeah,
fuzz.
Yeah. it
the car's afraid of the cops.
Yeah, so it takes off, and they're all pretty much okay. To which the sourpuss principal yells out, "Cat poo!"
Yeah,
Cat
well, because when teacher girlfriend was Lauren's her name, but teacher girlfriend. When she was taunting it, she was like, "Come on, you chicken shit son of a bitch, get out of the car and face me!" And like just increasingly sort of in their PG guidelines is ramping up the cursing at it, trying to taunt it, and that when it drives away, it's funny because Frumpy Pants principal, and this is the last time we'll see her, I believe.
Yeah,
just goes cat poop.
So weird.
Yeah,
but amazing.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they've set up roadblocks everywhere, and they start getting information about where the car might be. And is this when it just becomes action stunt spectacular? There's a little bit of planning and some talking, and then it's
I think it's like it comes down to one guy who's like, it's coming my way.
Yeah,
like there's one
right. Oh yeah, there's a dude who's like he's been hanging out like ready to do this, and he's got a shotgun, and he's like, I'm on it.
Yeah, he goes on the radio. He's like, I think a truck's coming. Wait, it's not a truck. Holy shit, it's the car.
Him.
It's the car.
It's the car. What do I do? And he's just like, I'm going to shoot it with my shotgun. And he shoots it. And
it's coming right at him, and he's hidden behind his car with the shotgun, and the car stops in front of him.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't just run his car.
No, not yet. But I mean, like, he's like, he just internally is like, I'm going to take a shot at it. And he does. And then he's also on the radio at the same time. He's like, I can't believe I missed. And then he shoots it at it again, and it doesn't do anything. And he's like, I missed twice. What the hell? So eventually the car takes off past him, and he's like, I'm in hot pursuit. And so he goes chasing after it, and they're all like, all hands on deck. Let's go get this fucking thing. You tell us where it is at all times. We'll come find you. So it starts kind of going up this mountain path the top of a peak or whatever.
And he's convinced. He's like, I got it trapped. Where
Yeah.
else is it going to go? And all the rest of the cops are quickly catching up.
Yeah,
with
they're
them.
getting there.
Yeah.
He turns a corner and the car is right there and comes at him and kind of pins him perpendicular to where his car is almost hanging off a cliff.
Yeah, and this scene's a little bit goofy because he goes to like open his door for some reason. I don't know why he thinks this is the plan.
He was just going to get out and arrest whoever it was.
Sure, but like he goes to open his door and the car just kind of goes, nope, like, nope, and just like gently closes his door back. And
it's
he,
like,
and
nah,
it's
you
like,
stay
all right,
there.
well maybe I'll go out the other door. To which
he's like, oh
is
no,
over the side of the cliff, and he's like, oh no, don't want to go that way.
He hangs out that door for way too long.
Yeah, he does. And then he gets back in and he's just basically like, now don't you do it. And the car just Roger Moore James Bonds him right over the cliff.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And the thing to note here is that not only does it sort of slowly push him over the cliff, it's not like a ram and
no.
But the second this car leaves its wheels, it bursts into flames.
Yeah.
Like
They hit the charges on this car before it even
a little too early. Like
before it hits its first roll.
Like it
off.
didn't
A little too early. A lot too
It didn't
early.
even turn over. It's just like,
No.
oh, I'm off its wheels. Yeah. Like
Punch
I'm thinking, like in their minds, cars are grounded
Yeah.
somehow, and
Yes.
like
if they take off, it's fucking explosion time.
oh, you broke the connection. I'm on fire now. Yeah. But yes, this thing bursts into flames and flips down the mountain. Now, no one actually sees him die because there are two cars going side by side flying down the road.
Yes.
And one of them just has a oh my god reaction, and I thought they saw the flaming car falling down the mountain, but no, they see the car kind of like coming around a corner and coming right at them.
Yep.
And they're like, stay on the road. And James Brolin is on the radio, is like, whatever you do not let that car get away. Do what you have to. And so these two cars are like, well, he can't take us both out. Like, so we'll just
Well,
we're gonna drive straight at him
Right.
side
He
by
will
side.
swerve and then we'll get him.
and we'll have him. Physics, I don't know how or why this happens, but the car just forces itself into a roll.
it turns and then flips like it just turns right really hard.
Yeah,
and
like
gets sideways and then starts flipping into the cop cars.
And just
Yeah.
tumbles down. It just fucking just tumbles down the street. Like Katamari's these things. Basically, it just rolls right over them to where they explode.
It's Katakari.
Oh yeah.
But also the whatever stunt car they're using for it is just like falling apart
Yes.
as they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's
Which is weird because as soon as it destroys the cop cars, it cuts to a perfectly
Perfect car.
pristine
I mean,
car driving away.
We're crossing our streams here. We already mentioned Katamari, but this is basically like he hit the triggers in Burnout Paradise and engaged stunt mode.
Yes.
Just because like suddenly he's like, I am doing this now. I am rolling.
Yep.
Because it rolls over the top of both cars, immediately causing them to burst into flames, and then the very next shot, it's back on its wheels and just driving forward.
Yeah, totally fine. Sick recovery.
Amazing recovery.
Yeah. This is when James Brolin is like, fuck this, I'm giving chase now. And he's on his bike. And
I thought he was going right at it at first, wasn't he?
he was, yeah, because it kind of comes to a stop in front of him. It has a soft spot for James Brolin for whatever reason. It never just fucking murders him. It just always wants to hang out.
But he does the trade shots and that do nothing.
Yes.
Like fires at the tire.
Yeah, he shoots at the tires. That does
Yeah,
nothing.
each tire, one on each side. Well, maybe I just missed over there.
Yeah.
Straight at the windshield. Nothing.
nope,
No.
nothing.
He goes over to the side of the car because the window is coming down a little
No.
bit.
He just walks over and is like, I'm going to open the door.
Oh, yeah, he
And
reaches
he's like,
for it.
There's no door handles.
Yeah.
The window does,
But then
roll
the
down
window
just
does
a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like,
and
kind of
then
peeking
The
in.
door starts to open a little
door
bit, like,
pops.
come in. And he's like, all right, and goes to do that, and then the car just flings its door and punches him with it, and he goes tumbling off into, a ditch. And all of a sudden, like, at first I thought the car was like ascending to heaven because basically the dissolve that they use is just the bright, just the screen gets brighter and brighter until cut to Doctor shining flashlight in James Brolin's face. Like, okay, you've got an injury during this. You have to stay here for a couple of days.
Just overnight.
Yeah.
Just overnight.
And also, this happens to be the doctor whose daughter was from the first scene.
Right.
So he's leaving, and I think it's Rodney Cox is like, hey, we're real sorry about your daughter. And he's just like,
I was trying to do work and not think
I'd
about
forgotten about it for about 30 seconds, but thanks. Thanks for reminding me.
Yep. Ronnie Cox still just sweaty and freaking out, but not externally freaking out. Just like you could tell there's something up with Ronnie Cox.
Yeah, this whole movie you spend waiting for him to just freak out.
Yeah.
You know,
And also die.
sure, that too, yes.
But like one by one, he starts. James Brolin starts sending people away. Like he sends the girlfriend away. Like go check on the kids. And then Ronnie Cox is the only one left, and he's like, "Shut the door. I told you to call off the parade." And he's like, "I think I did. I was sitting at the desk, and then the phone rang, and James Brolin's like, please tell me you didn't do this because of the thing." And he's like, no, it wasn't it was totally the thing.
It was because I'm a huge drunk.
And James Brolin is just basically like, oh, damn it, fine, whatever. So yeah, that's been, I guess, resolved. It doesn't much matter. Like his alcoholism never comes up again, or has any benefit. But yeah,
benefit, like he was just going to drink the gasoline out of the car and
I don't know. Like he was just going to I got a thing, the Molotov cocktail. This thing,
I got this. Hold on.
They find out the car runs on booze. I don't know. Something. So the Native American officer is driving the girlfriend home. And they drive by his place, and he looks over, and she's like, "Oh, you worried about your family?" He's like, "Yes." And as they drive by this little cross street, and you see the car, and the car is staking him out. So
it's in like a little alcove of like a brush.
Yeah,
it's
but
off,
it
off the road.
pulls out just enough so you can see it. It's patient. He drops her off, and then she's like, "I'll be fine. Get out of here." So he's like, "Okay, I'm going to go check on my family." So he leaves, and you're like, "Oh, man, the car is going to totally murder him." No. He drives back by. The car is like, "I'm going to go get her." So it drives to her house.
She drops some super important piece of paper.
She had
we never find out what that piece of paper was.
It was very important, but she
had to track that down, which leaves her in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And
the wind kicks in.
Yeah, the wind kicks in, and she's like, oh, Jesus, God, no.
Yeah.
And
so she walks into her house, which, man, when she walks in, you're like, oh, this is a Saturday Night Live set.
Right.
But, like, as the camera pans through this house and reaches a stopping point, the image on the far left of the screen is this giant portrait in progress of James Brolin.
Yep.
It is fucking glorious.
Yep.
And I swear to God, someone better still have this thing. And it better be James Brolin.
James Brolin better have that motherfucker hanging like over his bed.
But like also,
instead of a mirror, he should just have that. Wake up every day and go like, I'm looking good. Still looking good.
Man.
Still got it.
Sweet stash. I could totally grow that again if I wanted to.
No, he just thinks that's a mirror. Like,
yeah, you just totally like
just hang it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But like you said, Harlow, there's also this creepy ass portrait of one of his kids on the wall.
There is. Like
I think it's a creepy ass portrait of. I think there are two creepy ass portraits. One is of the older, and one is of the younger girl.
One of them is like literally like when you look up those things on the internet where you're like haunted painting, and you read that bullshit story. No, this is one of those pictures.
Yeah, it looks like
this painting. I hope is not in anyone's house. I hope it has been burned, and
it looks like
and had an exorcist
aliens.
performance. Because
So she calls him on the phone and is just like, I don't know, telling him about the last 20 minutes of her day since she left his presence. And the shot is set up so that she's in the foreground, the big window of the house is in the background, and behind that you just see light. And
another amazing fucking shot.
And so you see light rapidly coming at the house, and you're like...
And the sound is getting louder.
And you're like, it's a 70s movie. I don't know if we're going to get what we want here.
Whoo!
Do we?
Boy.
So obviously there's a shot where the car just comes up to the wall and stops, but they cut right after that, and it is just they launch something through something. But the implication and the editing and everything that was basically set up is this car fucking launches through this house
and never stops.
In one motion, just flies through, fucking takes her out completely.
It looks like it takes her head off.
Yes. and then just lands. Apparently, there's a road. They've built their house in the middle of a highway.
Our house
With
in
a
the
ramp.
middle of the street. Our house.
So this thing launches through the living room,
The car is grinding. Meat to meat.
It certainly was madness.
takes her out, and just lands on the street on the other side of the house, and just keeps going like,
Yep.
check me out. Look what I just
Now,
did.
what I can't figure out is like, was the set just constructed so well that it actually matched the real house? I am honestly, like, from a filmmaking perspective, trying to figure out how they did this. Because, like, if it's a set, was it an outdoor set and they really did have a road for this car to drive up to? I'm just trying to figure out, like, how you had fake wall set thing
Oh, I'm sure this was
with
a
with a
soundstage.
road and a car. Like,
Yeah.
was that a matte thing? Like,
No.
you know, superimpose that shit? Or
Fucking super.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm fascinated by the construction of this shot.
I don't know. There are some DVD or Blu-ray extras.
Yeah,
available.
There's commentary.
Okay.
So I guarantee if they fall silent during that scene, I'm going to be very upset.
Exactly.
They're going to go silent out of respect for the dead.
Unless they just, I mean, I don't know. I could go either way. I want the entire story of the portrait of James Brolin, or I want how they made that shot. I will be happy with either
I want
one.
them to pause the movie right there
Yeah.
and tell both stories, and then
Like
move
Parker
on.
Lewis style. Just
Yes.
Yeah. All right, wait a minute.
Time out.
You might be wondering how I got here. So cut to James Brolin just standing in the disaster zone that was this house, and they are taking away the bloody corpse of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the other cop is there, and he's just like, I shouldn't have left. And James Brolin, to his credit, is like, if you'd been here, it would have killed you too. So Brolin now is kind of getting into that sweaty, unshaven, like, man.
He's coming unhinged.
Yeah, and he's like, we're going to fucking murder this car. And we need drunken wife abuser who's still locked up in jail to help us. Because at the beginning, when that character is revealed and he's talking to the guy with the French horn, very prominently in his driveway is this giant van that just basically says explosives on it. So he is some kind of, demolitions guy. And it's odd. This movie, like, almost to its credit, doesn't even bother to come up with a plan. It's just basically like, we need him, get him, okay, let's go. It never once reveals what it's doing. It is just like, get him, go get your things, let's do this. And you see, like, Brolin in the background just with, like, they've got, like, this topographical map of the area, and he's just like, okay, here, let's do this, right here. And it's also at this point that Ronnie Cox has started putting the religious aspect of this thing together, because it's like, he's like, hollowed ground. The car wouldn't go on the thing, and also your girlfriend...
Hollowed. It wasn't hollow.
Oh, well. But it's also like, and your girlfriend swore at it, so it probably targeted her.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
And Brolin's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, dude, let's go get the dynamite and blow this thing up. So they let that dude out of jail, and the Native American guy just grabs him by the neck and brings him out and just, you will sit down.
This is unfortunately the closest this son of a bitch, well, second closest this
Yeah.
son of a bitch gets to comeuppance. But he's
But
just got him.
He's just also screaming extremely racist shit the entire time. He's got him in the script too.
Yeah.
But he's got him, like, real tight by the shirt and neck and just manhandling him, which
Yeah.
is kind of great.
But they tell him, like, we need you, now more than ever. And the guy's like, he just starts slowly grinning, like, fucking finally, I am redeemed. And you're like, wait, no, why? Don't fucking redeem that guy. But, so this just begins, like, a chase to the location where they are going. They go and they get all the supplies and they divvy them up. And it's like, haha, don't drop the box. It's going to explode.
Yep.
And they're all like, go to this canyon and plant the things. And James Brolin's like, we'll find the car and bring it to you. So it's basically kind of a chase to get there, although the car shows up before Brolin is... Oh, no, wait, hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
He goes home, check on the kids, because the other lady has been watching the kids.
Right. The other teacher. Yeah.
He has just resigned himself to the fact that he is going to die in this final battle, because he goes to look in on the kids and just leaves a note like, hey, lady, give my kids a kiss, tell them I loved them, bye. That's it. And so he has walked from the garage into the house, and you see that shot, and he goes and looks at the kids and
He's
leaves the
digging
note.
around with spark plugs with his motorcycle
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
And then he comes back out, gets on the bike, is going to start leaving, but then is like, nah, I need one more thing. gets off the bike, walks back through the garage, and as he's walking back through the garage, just in the background, just lurking in the background, the car is fucking parked in his garage. The movie doesn't do anything to draw attention to it.
That is also a really good shot.
There's no music sting or anything to it. It is just, hey, the car's back there. And he turns back around, and he's just like, ah, fuck, the car's here. So he tries to make an attempt to get over to the garage door, which is padlocked from the outside, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't padlock it from the inside.
No, but
Yeah.
that's what he's doing. And he tries to make a move for it, and the car, like, revs
Also,
up to him.
Lauren comes out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
Well, other teacher.
Yes.
That wasn't her name.
Or Lauren? No, whatever the other
the
teacher's
other
name.
teacher, yeah.
Yeah.
Was
And-
that Ronnie Cox's girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She comes out of the house and tries to go.
She's like, what? What's wrong?
What's
What's in
going
there?
on?
And he's like, don't
The-
come
just-
in here. And anytime there's a situation like that, when you're ever telling someone, don't come over here, they keep coming. They just keep coming and keep coming. And eventually he gets her to stop. But she's
Like
just
the
like,
car
Yeah.
is in here, and
Yeah.
we get the name of the movie.
yeah. Yeah.
The
So-
car is in here. Stay the fuck out, you idiot.
Yeah. So she goes
Please.
back into to where the kids are. He gives the garage door 2 or 3 attempts. He like gets a screwdriver and is going to like jimmy the lock and get out. The car eventually comes all the way up to the door and just starts revving the engine and wailing on the horn to where it blows out the windows in the garage. It blows out the windows in the house. You know, the kids are all huddled up with the lady and screaming. And he just defenestrates himself. He runs and defenestrates himself out a window and jumps on his bike and takes off as the car is exploding out of the garage to almost hit him. And then it's a chase through the desert. So,
Yep.
and he's on the radio like,
It's
"You
after
guys-
me."
Yeah, he's like, are you guys ready? And they're like, no, we got like 4 set up so far.
We're still on the way.
Yeah, yeah. They've done like a dumb thing where like one truck had all the dynamite and the other truck had all the blasting caps.
Well, no, they just split it between the two
Oh,
trucks.
okay. It seemed
Because
like
they-
one truck was all set up with everything, and it was just like, we're not there with this thing yet.
He said we're going to split them up because we don't want them if it gets one of us.
Yeah.
That way it won't ruin the
Okay,
plan.
okay.
So they use the sweet ass fucking police van, 1960 International Harvester B120.
Oh.
It's fucking awesome.
The International Harvester.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's chasing Brolin through the desert, and then at one point it's just like, nah, I'm just gonna cut through and go straight to where they are because I heard they're not ready. And Brolin's like, it's leave without me, guys. You need to do something. And they're like, no, you need to do something. You need to catch up to it. So he just starts fucking with it, basically.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up to it, get in front of it, lead it around, just go into like some area and donut around a little bit. And then he does this one, like, he gets to the point where they have dropped a knotted rope over for him to grab onto and climb up. And he just kind of tries to ride his bike up a mountain, which goes about as badly as you think. And
There's a stunt that goes wrong.
yeah. But he starts climbing, and the car is just like, nah, son, and just starts ramming the mountain, which is breaking off chunks of rock that are causing him to...
To be fair, it's shitty limestone.
Sure.
It's, not like granite.
No.
Good granite.
No,
mountains.
no. So, he's flailing around, and the rope is caught, and everyone's just... it's never quite clear what their exact plan is, but they are all just running around like crazy, and they've got the detonator way far away from where it needs to be, and they're running with wire to get it there. And at one point,
Well, I think what it is like they've planted the explosives all around the ridge of this canyon.
yeah,
And they've got to run all the wires together because they don't, there's only one detonator and it has to all blow up
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah,
So
'cause they're just
they're
gonna-
trying to meet in the middle. And
yeah, they're just
blow
going to
this whole
bury
damn
it
thing
basically
up.
in this area. R.G. Armstrong is running with a spool of cable, and it just gets caught, and he just goes whoop and falls. Yeah, and you're like, okay, here we go. He's gonna fall, and the car's gonna fucking eat him or whatever. No, they run over and help him, pick him up, and keep going. And then there's a half a second of the wire's not long enough, and he's like, we'll splice it. And I guess they do.
He needed to be there long enough to splice it.
Yeah.
But something like he should have been helping Brolin get up the rope, and the car should have shaken him off the cliff. And
Yeah,
something.
when he fell, I was like, okay, fine, he's there we go,
Right.
get him out of this. And no, none of these dudes die in the finale. They just eventually get to a point where
Well, the car is like, oh, I didn't get James Brolin at the bottom, and
Yeah.
it drives all around up the top. And James Brolin and Ronnie Cox are basically, well, Ronnie Cox doesn't want to be there. James
No.
Brolin's like, we need to stay here. Like, he's like, it's going to see us. And he's like, I
Yeah.
wanted to see us. And
it's Doc Brown and Marty McFly as the DeLorean is driving towards him, and Marty's trying to get away, and Doc Brown's like, no, you stay here and record this. Because James Brolin is holding on to Ronnie Cox, and Ronnie Cox is like, dude, no, let go. So they wait.
I've got so many more drinks left to drink.
Yeah. They wait as long as they can and jump out of the way, and then they launch this fucking car off a cliff. And as they do that, they hit the detonator. And what happens here is kind of visually interesting, but also like what's happening.
Also terrible.
It's a giant explosion in the sky because they're all looking up, and there is vaguely some shapes, like there's kind of a snake head.
Yeah, demonic. Well, okay, so
There's
it's
some
like
fingers
it's like a
and-
bunch of gasoline fires
Yeah.
at once.
Yes, all
Like,
superimposed,
all
or
fucking
composited.
superimposed.
Yeah.
And then one of them sort of turns into a snake head, and the tongue comes out as a giant tongue of fire.
Yep.
And just a bunch of weird, shapy, shifty thingies,
And it's growling and making a lot
Yeah,
of roaring
and-
noises and
engine noises.
yeah. And then it's just smoky, and they get up and wait for the smoke to clear, and they're all just kind of standing there in a hero shot. Now, there's a 2-shot of James Brolin and Ronnie Cox that had to have been filmed much later because Ronnie Cox's hair is a lot shorter, and they've
Yes.
clearly glued a mustache onto James Brolin because he is it's that kind of glue that they were using, like the Cannibal the Musical, where they were just like, I can't move my face. You know, it's like
Right.
he starts talking, and you're like, oh man, either he just had his wisdom teeth out, or there's something wrong with this.
Could have been
face.
both. Could have been both.
But that shot was obviously way after. They obviously rejiggered this ending at some point.
Yeah.
But that's basically it.
Yeah, they're just kind of standing there, and James Brolin's like, it's over. And Ronnie Cox, no, man, you see the fire and the stuff in the fire? He's like, it's over, man.
Yeah,
we
just-
buried it.
He's
It's,
just like, let it go, dude.
it's over. And,
Yeah.
and then they're all just standing there over this smoldering cliff, and it just kind of, I mean, it almost goes to like Close Encounters style, like weird fade out
Yeah.
color scheme.
Yep.
It's like,
It just kind of like limps out, and then as it fades to black, you hear the car horn, and you're like, ha ha ha. And then over
The
the
car
course-
will return, and the car too.
urban jungle, because the end credits just is a bunch of footage of the car.
Driving through like Ogden or something.
Yeah, just like some city. And you're like, okay, it's just driving around a city, and then the credits
Because
end.
to be clear, there was never a city, like a big
No.
city.
no,
in
no,
this.
no.
No, they're
At
like
all.
just driving around LA.
I mean, this town, county, whatever, is like one of the speed trap towns. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I think for every citizen there was a cop.
Yes.
You know? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
because they're apparently all we really see is like one neighborhood, one trailer park, and a main street, and that's it. So I don't know why they had 100 cops, but
yeah, so
it just kind of ends.
nothing drives out of the ground. So
No.
not this movie. This is not the movie.
No,
But it is a movie.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
And we
Yes.
watched it.
Mhm.
So not knocking it for that. I'm just saying the quest continues for
yeah, this
killer,
wasn't it.
satanic car and or truck that drives out of the ground.
Yeah, this wasn't it. This
May
was
or
pretty
may
good,
not
though.
exist.
I think it's Lone Wolf McQuaid.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, car.
the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think by very definition, we don't quite get an instant award, even though it's something.
Yeah,
But yeah, he never completely freaks out.
No.
And the score is just weird. So, and there's no lyrics. So, no ancillary awards is
No.
what I'm trying to say.
no, none of that.
Well, guess we rate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
I've been trying to formulate this one. I think I'm going to land on 3 jocks.
Okay.
Here's the reason why. I dig the hell out of this time period
Yeah.
and aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I just really do and I am a fan of. Don't get me wrong. I like realistic, scientific, and or plausible horror movies where the most scary thing is people or something that is possible that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you're going to do a supernatural horror movie, don't ever fucking explain it. That's my rule. Like, as soon as they start explaining supernatural shit is when it gets dumb and full of shit. And if you just tell me that there's a demonic car that may or may not have a driver, that's all I need to know.
Yep.
I really don't need to know anymore. I don't want part 2 or part 3 where they tell me about some reason why the car exists. I don't fucking want that. However, there's just some shit that's wrong with this movie, and it's... The other thing about horror movies is they tend to be fables, meaning you do something wrong and you get punished for it via the supernatural force. You know, and don't wander out at dark. You know, you get taken by an evil witch or something. You know, it's like there were things to like, don't do this because bad thing will happen. You know, but in this movie, the shitty people continually survive, and that's not right. I mean, it just doesn't work for this, and I hate to hold it against it, but like there's breaking the mold, and then there's just like, well, you just let that shitbird basically become part of the heroes.
Yeah.
You know, and fuck that guy. And also, Ronnie Cox is kind of shitty too. I mean, yeah, I know he's got a disease, but it's like he also fucked some shit up. You know, like he almost got all those kids killed. Probably got some of the cowboys killed.
I believe.
You know, like probably some of the horses got hurt. So fuck Ronnie Cox. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, it has issues, but it's still a lot of fun. The ending's kind of bullshit, and it's partially because I was like, all right, when's the car drive out? This is the time. It's not dead yet.
Yeah, it's
one final jump
Yep.
scare, but no. Yeah, I don't know. I still really liked it, but it's got issues that keep it from being perfect.
Yeah.
I could almost go 4 because that car driving through the fucking house is insane. But
Well, I can go 4.
okay.
And I do and will. There's so much to like about the car. And beyond just the basic, like, this movie looks great, this movie sounds great, this movie pulls off some things that I never would have expected a movie from this era to be able to pull off in terms of stunts. However, there is a lot of footage of sped-up driving, which I know it was a standard thing for 60s and 70s movies to do. It looks like shit, and
Some of it looks really good.
Sure, but
Occasionally.
Like a quarter of it looks really good.
yeah, but whenever I see it, I hear the Benny Hill music in my head, and it's just like, you know, come on, guys. I mean, I was 2 when this came out, so I can't really yell at them, but
the thing about sped up footage that always fucks it up is when the camera jitters.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a perfectly still camera, I mean perfectly still.
yeah, when you see the camera motion look unnatural, it's like,
or anything that requires like gravity. So a car going over bumps, like any bumps, and it looks really dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you film that in hopes that you're able to use it, and then when it looks bad sped up, you just kind of have to use it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So the sped up footage bothered me. The entire finale of this movie is shot day for night, which also looks bad. I understand it's almost got to be impossible to light that desert, but don't do it at night then. Just do it at dawn. They seem to hold off for this shot of at the end when the smoke clears, the sun comes up over the mountains, and it's like, you know, it's like, so the car was murdering people during the day. There's no rhyme or reason as to why this event has to take place at night, but they're shooting it day for night, and none of it ever matches. It's like, obviously this is noon, obviously this is dusk, obviously this is 3 o'clock. I mean, it's all various times of the day that they've just slapped a blue filter on, and it looks bad. And the ending is just kind of like, when it happens, you're like, what? I get what they're going for, but honestly, what the fuck is happening? Like, I waited for a character to go, what the fuck just happened? What was that? So, and not killing off the dude who deserved to die, and not giving Ronnie Cox like this redemption moment of, like, he should have been the one to stand there at the end of the cliff and push James Brolin away at the last second and take the brunt of it.
Yep.
And that you know, like, the hero redemption part of it is like, I'm kind of a shitheel, I'm not really a villain, but let me do something courageous here at the end. But up until the last moment, he was still being a chicken shit. So, character-wise, this movie doesn't get that shit straight. However, for jocks, because it is so much fun, and God, this transfer looks good.
Yeah,
it
it
is
does.
bright and colorful, and everyone just looks amazing in it. This is, I mean, you know, we were sitting there like, what year did this movie come out? Because it looks fantastic. So yeah, I definitely recommend seeing this. If you do, definitely watch it on Blu-ray because Jesus, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Where to put the car? I think I have a Four Jocks garage for the car.
Park it right in there, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna beep 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 beep. Here I come. No, I really enjoyed the car. I was surprised by many things, and while I would agree with the issues that we all seem to have, which is, you know, shitbirds not getting their comeuppance, the weird sped up motion, and just a few kind of filming things here and there, it was a ton of fun. And that car looks fucking badass. Almost every time that car shows up, it looks sinister as shit. It has cool powers for a, you know, for a spooky car. Spooky car. It jumps through that fucking house, and that's one of the greatest things ever committed to film. Additionally, the car launching off the cliff looked really good. A lot of times, I don't know how they managed it, but a lot of times when they launch a car off a cliff like that with a car cannon or something, it tends to like list sideways or kind of roll or something, pitch yaw roll. But that thing just went off flat, and like it looked like the coolest shit ever for that car to just be hanging out in midair like that. Ending's a little hokey, but I had a ton of fun with it, and I really think you should watch this. Like this, the Blu-ray transfer looks great. It's gonna get a little bit weird sometimes when it gets low light and it gets really grainy, because of how good it looks in the daytime shots and all the well lit shots. It's just a sharp contrast between no film grain and film grain sort of thing. But man, does it look good!
Yeah.
It looks so good. And that car is just great. Apparently like the hero car is over in somebody's collection in Europe still, so I hope one day to be run over by that car.
Sure. Okay.
Well, man can dream.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
All right. Well, I think that's the car, right?
Yeah, that is the
all
car.
right, well, let's take a break, shall we?
All right.
Vroom.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
There we go. The car has been
The car.
watched.
The car.
Who has watched things?
I watched a movie.
What? Okay.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
I was thinking
It's fine.
this one. I mean, I rewatched some movies, but nothing that needs talking about.
All right. I have a recommendation,
Chuck has a recommendation.
but I'm not really going to get too in depth with
I'm not
it.
gonna get really in depth.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
What's wrong?
Stop it. Yeah. Why are they starting Google Doc? What's happening in the chat?
I don't know. I think they're gonna write Nicholas. My mother, Nicholas Cage, the car.
Oh.
My Nicholas, the car.
Huh.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just Nicholas Carr, the Cage. I don't know.
Sure. I wish our current world climate wasn't so shitty that this movie could be remade.
Oh yeah. It
It really wouldn't have to change much. Just make the stunting a little better.
Can we make it a truck, and at some point it drives up out of the ground as though it were returning
So you want them
from
to
hell?
just make the movie that you think you've seen?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it's just been an image in my head the whole life waiting for me to make it.
Well, you fucking make it.
Yeah.
Make the car,
It's
too.
a fucking vision, Chuck.
Hardly working.
If you're gonna remake the car,
Yeah.
what car do you use as the base for the car? It can be any car since that was a '71.
Yeah.
So and it came out in '78. So any car from the last, let's say, 10 years.
Every car from the last 10 years is stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
You'd have to bolt on a bunch of dumb bullshit.
They bolted on a bunch of dumb bullshit for this.
Yeah, but cars looked better back then. All cars look the same now.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's not like, oh, you drive a giant boat car. You don't have that anymore. What are you going to do? Put a bunch of dumb stuff on a PT Cruiser?
Ford Flex.
What?
The Ford Flex.
Okay.
The big old car.
They're not that big. I've driven a Ford Flex. They're tiny.
Just use my Versa.
I mean, they're not that tiny, but it's a tiny-ass SUV.
Yeah. I don't know. One of those Nissan vans.
Maybe it should just be like one of Elon Musk's electro trucks, and Satan takes control of the programming.
No, but then it's maximum overdrive, basically.
Oh.
No, that was a Comet.
It'll be Maximum Override.
Okay.
We'll make a new movie. And Satan personally hacks into the Tesla truck.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
Send an email.
Send me an email.
I actually thought, like, you know, if we can't sort this out, I thought about tasking Chuck with throwing it in a video, because you have a lot of pedantic horror people who probably remember this shit. They'd probably just be like, oh, well, obviously that was this, and, you know. I'm saying your crowd would fucking nail this in a second.
My next two suggestions are movies we will probably get
Okay,
to. So
all right.
I'm not really ready to get...
I watched Nightmares a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure if it was it, I'd be like, oh, fuck, that was Nightmares. I'm just like, I'm trying to remember if anything drove out of the fucking ground in Nightmares.
I don't know.
And I mean, I just watched it a few years ago because I remember that was one of the suggestions. And I was like, I forgot that was the fucking Bishop of Battle movie and Milo Estevez.
Mm-hmm.
Ford Flex.
Yeah, they're tiny. They're not very big. It's not
That's
very
not
imposing.
it's not tiny. It's like 18 feet long. It's a big car.
What the fuck am I thinking of? I'm pretty sure that's what our company car is. It's a SUV. It's a tiny SUV though. I thought it was a Flex.
The Escape or Explorer. Probably the Escape.
I don't think it's an Escape. Maybe it's just bigger than I don't know. It wasn't like a fucking like Excursion big or anything like that.
No, it's long.
Maybe they come in different sizes or shapes.
Oh, an Aztec. That would be the car.
A, not from the last 10 years. B, ugliest thing I've ever seen in my
Right.
life. Funny.
Suzuki X90. That's the ugliest car I've ever seen. I call it the fucking Pope Mobile. I'm sorry if someone drives a Suzuki X90. I'm just saying.
Nobody should. Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
What about the Brat?
What?
I don't know. I think I kind of like the Brat.
Brat.
I'm just saying, most cars are boring now unless they're like expensive ass cars or something, you know, something unique.
Nothing stands out anymore. Like there are three classes of cars. There's like economy, sedan, and then the high end whatever brand. But they all look the same within those three within all the car makers. I mean, it's
Everything's been focus grouped to death.
Ford focus grouped.
Yes. Well, it's like the Honda Civic went from like your typical small car and is now basically a family sedan. But it looks like all the other family sedans out there. It's weird.
But they still have a Civic hatchback that looks sporty. Ish.
They should just make a Fast and Furious movie where Dom's car gets possessed by the devil because
Okay.
that car could be menacing, and then they have to defeat it. They get a car possessed
all right.
by Paul Walker.
And they have to. Oh no. Okay, I'm in. That's just dumb enough for me.
Tammy and the Ford Rex. Ford Flex, I mean. Sorry. Shit, I fucked it up.
Sorry, Paul Walker, R.I.P., bro. But that would be pretty sweet.
Oh, okay. Skinslip says you could use one of the smart cars and have it chase people around a mall, and remake Chopping Mall at the same time.
I would
You
go
would just
with,
hear the whirring of the.
I mean, if we're talking about cars that terrify me, the whatever the larger Mini Cooper is fucking
Oh,
terrifies
the
me.
Mini Clubman.
Because it it looks like the exact same car, but someone like supersized it. It's fucking weird, and it freaks me out for some reason. Like every time I see one, I'm like, "That's not right."
That's not right.
Let me see if I can find some 2017 cars.
Okay, good luck. We should call Car Talk.
One of those guys is dead now, so no.
We should have called Car Talk.
4 years ago.
We could just make it with a Nissan Murano because they're terrifying on the road all the
That's
time.
just the drivers.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It wouldn't be a driverless car. It's the people that drive them.
Right. Okay, so some Cadillacs still look cool.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a Cadillac.
Maybe.
Yeah, all the interesting cars are really expensive cars.
Yeah. Satan has money.
Yeah. Because you could do like a Bentley, like a big-ass Bentley Continental or something like that.
Hey, car makers, make a cool-looking car so that we can turn it evil.
Or, well, that's why it would never fly, because the car makers would be like, no, don't use our car. We're gonna sue you. It could be a throwback car that like comes back from the grave and drives out of the ground to get revenge, and then you could definitely have your evil car drives out of the ground for revenge movie. Eh? Eh?
All right.
Eh?
Sure.
Eh?
Eh?
Eh? Eh?
Ready, break.
Eh?
All right, should we do second half?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Need mouse and stuff. All right. All right, and welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast. It's second half.
Yeah, time for more halving.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's half it up.
So I saw a movie. Am I alone in this?
I don't know what you saw, so I can't.
Well, no, I just mean, am I the only one that watched something to
I have
discuss?
a thing to talk about,
Oh,
but
okay.
you should talk about your movie.
I also have a thing to talk about.
All right.
But
Oh,
it'll be
okay.
quick.
So I saw a relatively new movie that is now available for streaming rentals and whatnots.
Uh-huh.
I can't figure out if it's on disc yet. I don't even know how you tell these things.
It's about 3 weeks before it comes out on disc.
I think you can buy digital, but as soon as it's available for rent, it's usually on disc.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So probably on disc.
Okay.
I watched The Big Sick.
Oh, right.
The Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay.
I was going to get his name right.
All right.
Wrote and starred in, but it's directed by Michael Showalter of
Yes.
of the state and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's produced by Judd Apatow and well, no, hold on. Let me get there.
Okay.
Just
Sorry.
wow, just say a name. So like what he has done with most of his Judd Apatow Prime directed movies. Has been to attempt to mix lightheartedness with serious subjects and bounce back and forth. And they're usually like 2.5 to 3 hours long, and they just wear out their welcome, and they never seem to land which way they want to be. This movie does all of that perfectly.
Oh.
I thought it was terrific. I mean, it's it's weird because, like, on one hand, it's the kind of movie you feel like you want to show your parents and everybody, but it's still kind of like dirty, raunchy movie at times. You know,
Okay.
like it's not. It's
Is
just
it sweetly dirty? Like it's got a good heart?
well, no,
Squirty,
because I
as we
mean,
call
like, I mean,
No.
it's a like mostly autobiographical movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Kumail is basically playing himself as an up and coming stand up and whatnot. So you've got they're doing stand up shit and telling dirty jokes and things like that. So yes and no. Like it reminded me of like the good version of oh shit, what was the Apatow one with fucking long as shit. I think it had Adam Sandler in it. God damn it, I should have looked this up. There was one where it was like this had struck so many of the same chords
Yeah.
as that one. I thought it was like one of the last chances like Adam Sandler to make a real movie. Like not straight to video bullshit. God damn it. Maybe it was not even Adam Sandler. Funny people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm just saying, like it seems like it wants to like enter into those things, but do it all right.
Okay.
So it's like it's part behind the scenes of comedy and how most stand-up comedians are kind of broken people in various and assorted ways. Throw in romance that turns weird / traumatic quickly.
Okay.
I mean, it just combines like all of these different genres and just ends up being like an incredibly enjoyable watch. Also, couple in the fact of like, I wouldn't go so far as to say racism, but like cultural blending and how older generations have issues with that and certain things like that. So there's just like there's a lot going on this movie, but it's all still comes across as kind of lighthearted and enjoyable. Like it's dealing with heavy ass shit, but it does it in like a very fun and entertaining way.
So like the Breakin' movies.
No. No.
They deal with racism and love and things, but they're fun.
Yeah.
And dancing.
Yeah. No. No. Fuck no. A million times no.
All right. Fine.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a really good movie. I mean, it's one of those things like you can't talk too much about it because there's so much going on, and like to talk about anything in particular is kind of spoilery, and so I don't really want to get into it. It's just, I mean, there's excellent acting, there's excellent writing, there's funny stuff, there's heartwarming stuff, there's Ray Romano and Holly Hunter play Zoe Kazan's parents in it, and
You didn't say Ray Romano was in it.
well, he
I'm
is
on board.
Yeah, I mean, they're really good too. Like, I mean, they're both like given really good meaty roles.
Okay.
And
Meaty. I like it.
yeah, it's good. I guess that's all I have to say.
Okay. That sounds good. I do want to see it. I've been waiting for it to come out.
Yeah.
But sounds like it's out.
It is. It's
Okay.
out there.
Cool. I got a quick thing. Just kind of a recommendation. I can't really give a firm opinion on it yet because it's not over. But I haven't really heard people talking about it, and I think maybe it's because it is a show that is made for DirecTV and is on their whatever the DirecTV channel is. I think it's the Audience Network.
Okay.
It's the Stephen King adaptation of Mr. Mercedes.
Okay.
And it's David E. Kelly produced. He's running the show. I think it's like a 10-episode adaptation of that novel.
All right.
Starring Brendan Gleeson.
Oh,
Yeah.
I rolled the bank.
Uh-huh.
I got away with me Mercedes.
Yeah.
I missed a Mercedes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That guy.
How'd you miss the Mercedes? It was right over there. You're the real Mr. Mercedes.
It's really good. It is. Last weekend, I think we marathoned like all 8 available episodes in a weekend. And there are 2 more that haven't aired yet, I think. But we just were like enamored by it. And it's a fucked up story. It is a fucked up show. It is definitely a made for cable show. It doesn't shy away from any of the things that you would expect to see and hear in a cable show. But it's got a great cast, and it's smart, and it's funny. And having not read the book, I don't know where the fuck this story is going, and that's the kind of thing that I really love. So Plus, being like a novel, it's going to be a one-off show, and I'm digging that more and more. I'm digging these kind of like expanded but yet closed off stories, start, finish, out.
It's very strange to me how we got a glut of Stephen King movies throughout the mid 70s or late 70s to mid 90s, and then it was like, all right, we'll make some shitty TV adaptations, and then they tapered off.
Well,
and they're coming back with a fucking vengeance, man.
This year is insane, but like there was a period of time where they were taking Stephen King's name off of movie adaptations because it wasn't selling anything. Like I think Secret Window is a Stephen King thing.
Oh, okay.
And
You stole my story.
And they took his name off of it in the advertising so that because Stephen King's name at the time meant garbage.
Yeah.
So, and now all of a sudden, I mean, Dark Tower aside,
I mean, you got Dark Tower, there's that thing.
Yeah.
Gerald's Game.
Gerald's Game
is on Netflix now.
Yeah. There's another thing I think coming or something, but I mean, it's just like the Hulu show, the Castle Rock. I mean, it's.
Did you say Gerald's Game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like this crazy year of Stephen King, and it's also the year everyone's like, man, Stephen King's fucking awesome. Let's do all the things. But everyone was like, they fucked up the Dark Tower. It wasn't Stephen King's fault, but they fucked that thing up. But everything else, like it is the top grossing horror movie of all time. But like this show is, no one's talking about it. And like I said, I think it's because it's on this like isolated thing where you can only get it if you have DirecTV, or I guess it's AT&T now. But
what is the service again? Or channel that it's on?
It's called the Audience Network, but that's a
right.
a DirecTV channel.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like for their programming. So once it runs its course on DirecTV, I'm hoping it'll come out other places for people to see because it is really something good. So I highly recommend that.
Nice.
And if you have DirecTV and you haven't watched this yet, the first 8 episodes are all on demand. Just go grab them, pull them down, put them on your DVR, and fucking just plow through that thing. It is really good. Kelly Lynch is in it, and like it took me until like the next round of credits before I was like, wait, that's Kelly Lynch? Holy shit. From Roadhouse.
Oh, okay, that Kelly Lynch.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like the Kelly. I thought that was her last name from like Trainspotting and stuff.
Oh.
That was McDonald. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Another Irish name.
Mm-hmm.
Or Scottish.
So,
Where the fuck they're from?
Yeah. Do you mind if I segue off of your channels into a quick thing?
Do it.
So I've been looking for a way to watch some things TV. Really, I mean, for the last several years, I've been waiting for the ideal a la carte sort of TV provider to come around.
Just the channels you want.
Yeah, channels I want. Maybe for me personally, I need to pick about 8 channels out. And if I can, 8 channels plus local or network TV streaming. And I know that's not going to happen with CBS because CBS has lost their goddamn minds. But I've been looking for that sort of thing. But Sling is priced right, and they seem to be a somewhat popular offering. So I decided to give it a try over the weekend, actually on Sunday. And if you follow me on Twitter, you will know exactly how that went. Sling offers a couple different kinds of services. So they offer what they call Sling Blue, then they offer Sling Orange, then they offer Sling Orange plus Blue, and then they offer like 30 different add-on packs. So anything from comedy add-on to like French language add-on to, bunch of weird stuff. The biggest problem is that none of it makes any fucking sense. And when you're trying to figure out what channels are available, what channels go with what network channels you might have, there's no information out there. The pricing structure is bad. You have to basically get Sling Orange plus Blue to get the channels that you want. And that's
Sling Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's $45.
Oh.
So they're like, oh, hey, starting at $20 a month. But for you to get the combination of the channels you want, it's just... Jesus.
Welcome to Florida.
Dear Roach Lord in the chat, please call off your minion. We do not need his services here at this time. but to get any combination of channels that you want, like, so Sling Blue has ESPN, but Sling Orange has, like, Comedy Central. They do the same kind of shit that cable and satellite companies do to make you pay for the most expensive. And then they lock a few other things behind pay as well. So, like, you'll get the NFL network, but you won't get Red Zone. You have to buy a separate $10 sports pack. Then you have to buy a $10 DVR pack because you don't get a DVR with your $45 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay extra money for 50 hours of DVR. Then, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Once you add everything up, like, to get everything that I really needed out of what they offered, my cost was going to be $55 a month. And at that point, I might as well just sign up with literally anybody else.
Yeah.
Is it getting closer? Where'd it go?
It's behind I Come in Peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make it go in pieces. I'm afraid it's going to come out the bottom, and I'm not going to see it.
Well, let's wait.
Should we just kill it?
You keep an eye
there
out.
it is.
There it is.
Ah.
Go get the vacuum.
Well, don't we want to smash it first?
I don't know. Let it live in the vacuum. Let it learn.
Here.
Can't live in a vacuum.
What did you just do? What did you do, Ray?
It's on the other side.
I don't want to hit I Come in Peace.
That would be ironic.
Let me see if I can knock it down and then
Wait, can we kill it with one of the I Come in Peace tapes?
Let me fire some CDs at it.
Only 2 CDs. Nuts. Don't go behind. Don't go behind. Don't go behind.
I switch camera just so everyone can watch this drama unfold.
Nope, that's behind.
It's on your shoe, isn't it?
Yep. Hey, I didn't freak out when it was on my shoe. I just looked at it and then killed it.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
All right.
Just making sure it's dead. Yeah.
It's plain dead. It's not dead.
Don't come around here no more.
Stop.
What?
That's part of the song. Not you. Giving up.
Stop.
Yeah.
Spider.
Stop on Spider.
Oh. I promise not to kill you.
Poor bug. Fuck that bug.
That
Fuck
ain't,
bugs.
That ain't one of the good bugs.
Nah.
That bug don't eat other bugs. Fuck that bug.
So, $55.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well give my money to DirecTV or whatever and have them jackhammer a satellite dish onto my house. But then it had a 7-day free trial, so I was like, okay, we'll go with this. We'll check it out. I'll spend a little time watching some TV and see maybe the quality's really good. Maybe the channel lineup is good. Maybe the DVR thing works nicely. Nope. None of it. Quality is garbage.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so that
will-
hasn't changed. I did the same thing about a year ago, and I was like, almost the exact same experience as you. Like, sign up and unsign up within like an hour.
Spoiler alert. That was gonna be the
I didn't
that
say
was going to be
anything.
the punchline. But no.
He can cut that.
I'll cut it.
Yeah. So yeah, so the DVR thing works like shit. The channel lineups, it takes you. So the weird thing is, you know how on like a normal guide, channels are arranged.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like when Netflix loses its mind and forgets how to arrange channels or arrange things according to categories.
All the time.
Yeah, it's like layered lists.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad. But if you go, there was some combination of clicks I managed to do to get around to the actual normal guide listing style. But then I would click on something and it would go away forever. But like the worst thing is that I have gigabit fiber, and I whenever I have even the slightest interruption, I go to fast.com and I go to speed test and I double check to make sure that my connection is okay. Every single time that I had well, it was a lot, but I had a bunch of issues with the quality on Sling. It would like go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And this is in the middle of the day on a Sunday, so like 3 o'clock on a Sunday. But every single time I'd check, nope, still got, according to Netflix, I have 500 megabits down, and according to speed test, I have nearly a gigabit down. So it's just painfully bad in every way. It's their fault, and painfully bad in every way. So over the span of 40 minutes, I signed up for and then canceled Sling TV. Because it is garbage, and I highly recommend that you do not use it.
Yeah, I tried it when they first launched, and I was like, all right, this may be they started a new. I mean, it's been out. Sling. I mean, Sling as a brand has been around for a lot longer because they were we'll mirror whatever's on your television to something remote, and then they were like, we can do live television streaming.
Yeah,
except they can't.
Nope.
So that's good to know that it hasn't changed. That because my experience was very similar. Of like, I can't find what I want to watch. Oh, there's the channel I want to watch. What the fuck is wrong with this?
Oh, the other thing, once I had signed up for it, I was like, oh, I don't have some channels that I think I really want. There's nowhere where to go find out what channels you have. There's also nowhere to go find out what channels you can add, because when you go to the add channels, it just lists them by a package name and doesn't tell you what the channels are. So
honestly, like, their service was so bad, I started forming a conspiracy theory of like,
it's predatory.
No, I was thinking like it was actually a secret like shell company of Comcast or DirecTV or somebody, basically attempting to make you go, oh, well, anything but streaming or satellite or anything but cable or satellite is garbage. Why would I ever?
Yeah.
You know, like that's how fucking bad it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like somebody took me in a room and was like, "Here's the Sling file,"
Yeah,
and
I'm just
opened it up, and it was like, "Oh, Comcast, AT&T,
Yeah, like, yeah.
DirecTV."
They're like the HD DVD of consortiums of like,
Right.
let's burn this shit to the ground.
Yeah, I would not be surprised because
I know, like it was just that bad. I was like, people signed off and made this, like,
yeah, I just don't know, and like I would like to try out PS View, but there are a bunch of channels, like I guess all the Viacom channels got pulled from PS View, and so like,
Yeah.
why bother at that point?
Yep.
So, listen, if anybody's out there, like I know that by doing that package bullshit, like ESPN actually costs the cable providers $13 per subscriber per month. But you know what? Let me sign up for $13 for ESPN, and then $3.99 for HGTV or whatever channels I want, and let me add channels and subtract channels throughout the month and have fun with it.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you don't care about sports or live news, those are the two things that kill your ability to become a true cable cutter, I think, or cord cutter, whatever you want to call it. But like I'm doing really well. Like I haven't had TV service in years now, and
I haven't either. I
and
just
like
have been dealing
between
with it.
Netflix and HBO Go or Now or whatever, and then like the one I started like, okay, well, I care about still keeping up with South Park, or I want to watch Lucha Underground. I can go buy seasons of those on Amazon or iTunes or whatever, and it's still cheaper. Like it's just like do that one show, and then like I don't need the rest of Comedy Central. I mean, I might turn it on if I had it, but I'm not missing it when I don't.
Well, that's the thing. Like I want to watch some live sports.
Sure.
There's some stuff that I just want to watch live sometimes.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I don't need live TV at this point. Like I almost do, but if I want to watch something network, then I hook up my bunny ears and I get a really good picture from my over-the-air antenna, which are like literally the cheapest bunny ears that you could get in Walmart 15 years ago.
And they still pull an HD. You don't need
Yeah.
one of those fancy like.
No, you don't. You don't need. Yeah. Public service announcement: you do not need an HD antenna or a powered antenna to get HD channels.
Nope.
You just need an antenna. All you just fucking antenna. That's it. Pointy things and the round part. That's all.
Pointy things in the round parts. This
Sundays
fall.
at 8.
On something that you won't quite see, right? Because you're
Yeah.
still futzing with your bunny ears.
That is part of the problem. Is that it is difficult sometimes to tune things in, but.
Well, with digital, it's like it's either on or it's off, right? You don't get that like. Like, it's
The
kinda
problem
there.
with digital is that it will go in and out. Like whereas with analog, you could kind of tune it in and it might be still a little
yeah, you just get a
fuzzy.
little snow. Yeah.
But digital, it will cut out and sound will cut out, and so it'll like sometimes when you're trying to watch a show.
Oh, it's Skype effects.
Yes, yeah. So also the like screen will cut out, and that just infuriates me. But I've figured out a way to get mine like where I need to point mine to get all the channels, and I need to not have it sitting next to the TV because something with the TV affects its reception. It has to be sitting like 3 feet away. But other than that, I'm just going with bunny ears for now because fuck you, Sling. You're a piece of shit. I hope you die. I hope you burn in hell.
Can you not get Uverse now with your fancy internet?
I could, but I don't
Bundle
fucking
that?
want it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind paying AT&T my $70, $80 a month, $70 a month for my screaming fast internet, but I don't want anything to do with their TV service.
Okay.
Because I don't want to pay I don't want to pay $50 for a bunch of channels I don't need. Again, I want to pay like $20 for maybe a couple channels I don't need.
Fair enough.
Well,
Also, they will absolutely raise the price on me, when
Oh,
I'm not
sure.
paying attention.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, instead of $80 for internet and $40 for TV, I'll be paying $150 for internet somehow and $150 for TV. And nah.
oh, it's time. We need to pause for a moment. Unless you know, this episode is brought to you by DirecTV Now. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
In the interest of full disclosure,
Kidding. No, I'm kidding.
we're having our latest truckload of money delivered.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Just want to throw that out there between Chuck talking about the DirecTV only show and
Tuck tuck.
us shitting all over Sling TV.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Yeah.
We're just consumers that want good things.
Yeah. While you were talking, I looked up YouTube TV, and their lineup is bullshit.
Isn't
so.
Amazon also now trying to get into
Yeah.
this market?
Everyone is. But
Amazon's is weird. Theirs is basically just their Prime Video offering, their Prime TV video offerings. It's weird.
Okay.
do they structure it like these are the shows that are live? And
No, it's
No?
just here. You want to watch a show? Their channels are just like VOD.
weird.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, like the problem with all of these things is that every one of them is missing something that you want. Like,
Yes,
because I can't,
always.
I can't tell you how many times I've tried to like.
Don't you have both? You have a little bit of Comcast and a whole
I do.
lot of DirecTV?
I have a tiny bit of Comcast and a whole lot of DirecTV, and I always try to.
I'm a little bit Comcast.
I try to lower the DirecTV packages down to like the next lowest tier, but there's always one channel that disappears between the two tiers, and it's like that's like the one channel in this house that everyone puts on for noise or something,
Yep.
HGTV or Food Network or something.
What we really just need to do is we all need to get together and decide on the HGTV Blu-ray and like 12 shows, 12 or something episodes, and that will be the one that we all buy.
Yeah.
And we'll just forget about HGTV.
Yeah, it all sucks. Everything sucks.
But all of HGTV's programming is garbage anyway, and
Oh,
nobody
I know.
should
Don't
watch
get
it.
me wrong. I don't watch it. I don't want it on for noise either, but it's always on
It
my
is
house.
good. It is good noise, but it's also garbage programming, and you shouldn't watch it because, he's a door-to-door balloon salesman, and she's a professional Skype setter-upper, and their budget is $6.4 million.
He's
for
a
their home
social
in
media
Mallorca.
expert,
And they hate every house they go see.
and she's a hobo flater. And their
Hobo
budget,
fillator.
their budget is
An
1.3
amateur
million.
hobo fillator.
Hobo fillator.
Hey, you want bofa? You want some bofa?
And all the shows are Canadian.
Yeah.
They're all Canadian shows that we just buy for cheap and put them on HGTV. Some like the Canadians, like they got the cheap drugs. They should find a way to stream their cheap ass television into our country. I would totally get an underground stream of Canadian programming, eh?
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything fucking sucks.
Yeah. Great. Well, on that positive note, why don't you tell people how they can get in touch with us? BJ?
Oh, are we done?
Yeah,
I
we're
think
done.
so. Yeah. We're done shitting on things now.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, that was fast.
Is it?
Yeah, it
That's
seems
all we
like
have.
it was fast.
You know, Mackey's not here to
Yeah,
say things that people have written to us, and also no one's written to us. So.
right.
We have some.
Well,
but
I
we're
mean,
saving them.
if you want to write to us and get into that, that hot email queue, email us at bmf@bmfcast.com, or go to the website bmfcast.com and get in touch with us via any of the social medias there. We got a bunch of buttons on the right-hand side that'll take you there. Or give us a call on the Garfield phone, 9105-JOCKS-BMF, or 910-556-9263. Also, please donate to our Patreon because we are trying to raise enough money to remake the car, and also for things like hookers and blow and hosting. And
and hobo flating.
to get our hobos honked.
We need our HBH.
No, I was talking about homeless people.
Yes,
Not our hobos.
That's what I mean, to get our hobos, our
right.
personal
Oh,
hobos.
sure, we do have.
yeah, we each have one assigned to us.
we have a
Right.
grip. We have a grip of hobos.
Yes. A metric grip of hobos. Anyway, also we have a Discord, which is a little chat thing. So go to bmfcast.com and look on the right-hand side for the little video game controller logo, and that will take you to our Discord. You can sign up and chat with us. Most of us are there during the working hours, and a number of us are also there during the non-working hours. So chit-chat at us. Get in there and have some fun. We like interacting with you in all of the progressive ways that this internet allows us. So,
the progressive ways.
yes.
Yeah, totally.
That's it. I got
Oh,
all
okay.
I got all the thing.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get out of here, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And for Mackie, this is BMFcast out. He'll be back next week.
Maybe. But you won't be. Right?
No, I'll be here. We're
Right.
moving to Tuesday. So.
Oh, so you can be here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're moving to Tuesday next week. So any of you live stream cool cats
So
will
see
be
you
here
next
on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Special night and time.
Yeah.
Set your dial to rip the knob off. Tuesday. Well, good night, everybody.
Where are we leaving? Oh, it's over.
Oh, hang on. I'll get you a link for the Discord. I'll just pop it right in this chitty chat.
I don't think it'll let you pop.
Yes,
link
it
in
will.
the-
it will now.
Oh, because you're a fucking
Actually,
you're
I think
you're
they
an Uber
just
driver?
Uber for later.
no. I think they just
they
decided
just
to allow it.
ditched the link thing altogether. Man, Mackie didn't even join us in the chat.
Nope.
He's probably watching HGTV right now. Fucking Property Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Rub FXQ. That's our link, yo.
Yeah.
FXQ. Yeah. One day, this chat expires in 5 minutes.
Oh, you can only rub FXQ for one day.
Yeah.
I have forgotten where the master link is. So
That's the Master Sword and link.
Oh, there it is.
Master
Server
link is
settings.
on the website.
Master Chop Chop.
Invites. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
It's been used 53 times.
What?
The master link.
Wow.
That's the one that never expires.
Oh.
Wow.
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 I'm working
Yeah.
in the flea market so early. I've been working here since my mama was a baby.
Oh, and like there are, for those of you wondering, are we still online?
Yes.
Okay. About the Discord, like if you're, it doesn't matter what time of day you are awake, just pop in there and say something because we have people from all over, from coast to coast in the U.S. and some people from other seas,
Yeah, on other coasts
other coasts. So
or away from coasts.
Flyover coasts.
yeah, space ghosts, space coasts.
Great
So
space
yeah,
coast.
if you're worried about, oh man, it's middle of the night, nobody will talk to me. There's probably
it's
I mean, we might not, but
no. I'm up till 3, and all the notifications for Discord come to my phone. So
Yeah.
I am Lord of the Cord, as it were. So
easy there, Roy.
so I need to make sure that I get the notifications, but that's why they're always on. So I'll be there until 3 in the morning, and like our buddy Skinslip, who I think was in the chat earlier, he's always up late as hail.
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 Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Going to hell.
Uh-huh.
So join us there. It's fun. We have good times.
We do.
Yeah.
And,
That's how we while away our mundane work hours when
Yes.
we're not casting pods into your faces.
Right.
And also, like, you know, if you're already in the Discord and you lurk a bunch and never say anything, then don't be scared. We won't bite you hard unless you ask. So talk to us. It's fun.
Yeah,
We
pick
like
a channel. There's some quiet channels. Go.
Yeah, go be master of that. Well, not master, but go be lord of that channel, underlord of that channel. Like, we got a sports ball channel now for all of us sports-minded folks.
I immediately muted that one.
Yep, I know. There's a spoiler zone that I need to clear out probably because it's probably got a bunch of spoilers. I have that one muted.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I muted that one. I just figure whenever I have a reason, like, if
Right.
the chat says I'm going to go there, I just
Yeah.
don't want it to like always
right,
say
right.
there's unread stuff.
It's like I'm never just going to pop in there because I don't know what spoilers are being
Yeah,
discussed.
right. So I just mute it and I can unmute it.
I'll tell
Hi,
you.
what do you guys?
On
Oh,
foot.
everything's ruined. It's just a bot just typing spoilers the whole time.
Right.
It's just for
Well,
everything.
I'll tell you. Most recently, there were Flatliner spoilers.
Oh, goody.
so it actually moves.
Oh.
There's about 100 messages I need to delete.
So
If anybody knows how
So
to,
someone just wrote beep.
yes. If anybody knows how to tell Discord to delete an entire channel's contents without deleting that channel, then let me know. Hit me up in the DMs.
I thought you did that once.
No, I went through and manually did
Once.
it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
Toad's fun.
Yeah, sounds fun.
All right, I guess we're leaving now.
Yep.
We're done discording with Chow.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's somebody named Le Chief
Ooh,
in our Discord. Yeah,
Oh.
Le Chief, if you're listening, say hi.
Hi.
Oh, there you go. He's
me.
gone. Never mind.
Oh.
The chief.
Le Chief. Anyhow, bye. I'm Harlow. I'm Mackie. I'm BJ. And I'm Chuck. And this is BMFcast out. See you next time.
Motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers. Shut down.
This is Pahuda signing out.
Bye.